Hey, Liz. Has there been anything actually interesting going on in your life lately?
Huh? Don't try and act like my life is all that boring. Just because I don't tell you what's going on in it, doesn't mean it is. And what exactly is your idea of an interesting life?
Well, going out to really high-end and fancy restaurants with your friends. Or maybe even go on a small trip out somewhere cool for once.
Well, in terms of going on one of those cool trips, I plan to go next month.
Seriously? You are actually going out? Where are you planning on going? I bet it's somewhere super boring like your parents' house or something.
Actually, I'll be going to Disney World for a night.
Wait, you're actually going somewhere that has a bunch of fun rides and attractions?
Well, I'm not sure on all that I want to do there yet. But I will definitely be riding as many rides as I can in that short amount of time.
That must be so nice. I have never been to Disney World before.
I haven't been there yet either, actually.
Well, you should stop only thinking about yourself for a change. What about me? It's annoying.
Well, if you want to go so badly, then how about you ask your family to plan out a trip with you?
But my family doesn't have the money or the time to go on vacations. You know how busy my husband is with work, don't you? And also, my family isn't as well off as your family is.
Well, really, my family isn't that well off either, but
Well, anyways, have you guys decided what resort you're going to be staying at yet while you're there? I bet you guys are one of those families that decides to stay at a cheap and dirty hotel outside of Disney World.
we will be staying within Disney. At one of the resorts. It looks like we'll be staying at the Animal Kingdom Lodge. If I'm not mistaken.
What? I just looked up some images of the inside and now I'm starting to get really jealous. I think I might tag along with you guys if you don't mind. I can't just let a chance like this pass me by.
No, thank you. I heard that last year. You forced Mariah to let you go on a trip with her and her family to Los Angeles, right? She said she was pretty pissed at you. Because she told you multiple times it was only meant to be a trip for her and her kids to enjoy. Have you not learned your lesson after that?
Just because she got mad at me doesn't mean it was my fault. It's her fault for being such a stuck-up jerk. It's not like I was intentionally getting in the way of her family time. Heck, I even paid her back for all the eating out we did and for the hotel room. Please don't treat me like I'm the bad person here until you fully understand my side of the story.
But I think you are 100% in the wrong for what happened then. What I heard from Mariah is that she didn't really want you going on the trip with her at all. She even told you straight to your face, right? When someone tells you no, you should back off. But even with her being so direct to you about her feelings, you still forced your way into joining her vacation. And she also said that you didn't even bring any money when you went. So she ended up having to pay for all your meals. Even if you did end up supposedly paying her back after that trip, it still creates a huge burden acting as though you are another child she needs to hear for.
Can you please stop already? In the end, I did end up paying her back for everything. So I did nothing wrong.
But listen, you still haven't paid me back for all the times I paid for your lunch. Or paid for you when we went out shopping together. I had asked one time before. But now I would really like to get my money back at some point.
Hey, what day will you guys be leaving on that vacation? Next month?
Don't try and derail the conversation like that.
Okay, I'll pay you back for everything. Just give me a bit more time.
And how much more time would that be? I'd like to know a date, so that I can keep track of you without letting you off the hook.
If you tell me the date of your trip to Florida, I will tell you when I can pay you back.
Fine, we will go next month on the 3rd or 4th, I think.
Understood.
Now that I have told you, when will you be paying me?
When I feel like it.
What the hell, Trish? That isn't even close to an answer to my question.
I'm sorry, but I just don't know yet. Alrighty, I have to get back to doing some chores, so I'll talk to you later.
Crap, I hope you know that you're walking on very thin rope right now.
Liz. Hello. Today's the day you go to Orlando, right?
That's right. You seem to be really good at remembering dates for things that don't involve you.
What are you talking about? I don't see why I would forget this big day. My plan seems to follow the exact same schedule as your family's.
I don't understand what you mean by that. But why did you decide to contact me today about the trip?
I just wanted to know where you and your family are at, it's all.
I don't think you need to know anything about where my family and I are at today.
But I think I should know about where you guys are because it is already noon. Hey, what time will you guys arrive at the resort today?
We have about 1 more hour left before we get there. Traffic is pretty bad right now. But why the heck are you asking me all of this?
Well, because me and my family are also staying at the Animal Kingdom Lodge tonight. We already arrived. And this place looks like way more amazing in person than it did in those pictures. I'm so glad that this is where we will all be staying. And thank you for letting me know about this trip a few weeks ago. Or I may have never had time to organize our plans.
What? You are joking right now, right?
Not at all. Did you think that I would just let you and your family go to Disney World without me? There is no reason for me to just sit at home letting you guys have all the fun. Especially with you knowing I had never been to Disney World before. And this trip is going to be free anyways, so I couldn't let it slide through my fingers.
What are you talking about? How is it free to you? Do you actually think that my family is going to pay for you guys as well? You're crazy if that is what you think will happen.
I knew you would see something like that. But I'm pretty sure that over time you will be happy to pay for us, right?
We definitely won't be. I already told you before that I didn't want you coming with us. Geez, is that too difficult for you to understand?
But I really wanted to come on this trip with you. It's just not fair that you guys are the only ones that would get to go to Florida. Also, it's not like there's anything wrong with two friends having a trip to Disney World.
I can't believe that you are truly the stubborn. It's scary.
My family is also really happy, so thank you so much.
I am in all right now. The thickness of your skull must be immeasurable.
Thank you.
That wasn't a compliment, you freak. By the way, the Animal Kingdom Lodge is really popular right now. Meaning everyone needs to have a reservation. How did you manage to find a room in that short amount of time?
When you first told me the day that you would be going, I took a look at the resort website to see if there was any available rooms. At first every room was taken, causing me to freak out a little bit. But the next morning, when I woke up, I looked again to find that one room had opened up. I immediately booked it without even looking at the price or style of the room.
So you are at that room right now, right?
The room we ended up getting was one of the suite rooms on the top floor. I have never stayed in such a high-end room before. Thank you. And since you guys are going to handle the bill, we decided to already order full room service.
But we specifically went on this trip because it's part of my husband's business trip with a few of his coworkers.
Huh? This is the first time I'm hearing of this. Why didn't you tell me before that this wasn't a trip for you and your family?
Because this trip has nothing to do with you? Nothing at all. Why do you think I kept saying for you to stay out of our plans?
But then why were you able to go on this trip with him? If it's meant to be for him and his coworkers? Shouldn't he only be focused on working with his company if this is a business trip?
You would think so. But this trip is more of a relaxing get-together for them. So his company said that family members of the employees could come along as well. So we decided to take them up on the offer, and I'll tag along with him.
Thank goodness. So since it is okay for you to be with him, my family and I should be okay as well.
Why the hell would you think that? You guys have nothing to do with this company's trip. And I already said we are not paying for you to be here.
But Liz, my family only brought enough money to pay for the gas in our car. So if you guys aren't going to pay for us to stay here, then that means.
Well, none of that is our problem. It's all on you. Maybe you should have thought about what money you had before coming all the way here, uninvited. Did you end up bringing your husband along with you as well?
Yep.
What did you say to your husband that got him to come along with you?
I told him that I had won some tickets. That included an all-exclusive stay at Disney World.
Then how did you get him to come along on a weekday like today? So suddenly. When he should be going to work now.
I kept asking him to come until he finally caved in.
So then your husband doesn't know a thing about why you really came all the way here, huh? And the fact that you guys will need to find a way to pay for the resort, right?
Right. But if he finds out that we're only able to be here because you guys are here, things will only get worse between us. He's already less than happy with me because he overheard about my unexpected trip with Mariah last time.
Then why did you even bother bringing him along with you this time?
Because technically, today is a holiday for me. Meaning he would have taken the day off today as well to be with me. But if I told him that I would be going on a trip without him and the kids, he would probably start asking me all sorts of annoying questions. And I don't have the patience for any of that.
So that's your reason for bringing everyone along with you?
Yeah. Anyway, if this whole trip is being paid for by the company your husband works for, then you should be able to send them our bills as well to be paid, right? They probably won't even know the difference.
We don't have any need to do that for you guys. I told you that I didn't want you coming along already. And if for some reason we did decide to send your bills to the company and his bosses find out, he'll be fired on the spot. And we already had all of the payments for our trip paid off last week, before we came on this trip. The company chose what rooms we would be staying in, so there's no way for you to deceive them.
You already had all of the rooms and got it all figured out? Damn it, why didn't you tell me about any of this either? I could have sworn that you guys wouldn't have this stuff paid for until after the trip was over. My husband always turns in all of the receipts for his date after the business trip is over.
Do you still not get it? Our trip has nothing to do with you. So of course, I wouldn't tell you anything.
Oh God, what should I do? This room alone cost around $1,500 a night right now. I don't have that much money at the moment. Can you give me some money to help pay for this room at least?
No chance. I barely even have that much money.
Wait, I have a great idea. You guys should have gotten some money from your husband's company that you can spend on food and such while you're here, right? Could you ask your husband to fork some of that money over to me and then I'll pay him back later?
Do you want him to get fired or something? I won't ask him anything. Your travel expenses are yours and yours alone. I never once said that I would help pay for your stay here. And I'm sure as hell not going to get him involved with your stupid game.
I can't pay for it myself though. Please ask him, I promise I will pay him back.
You are being beyond rude right now. If you don't have the money for the room, how about you explain to your husband what is going on and ask him to help you pay? That seems like your only option at the moment. And if it turns out to be too stressful for you, I'd be more than happy to tell him.
No way.
Then you will tell him, right?
Just give me a little time, please.
Nope. You'll have until tomorrow to tell your husband about all of this before checkout. If you don't tell him by then, I will do it for you.
Come on. Good morning, Liz. Are you still at the hotel?
I am, but what makes you think I want to hear about your disaster of a situation?
Oh, thank God. Actually, I'm checking out right now. And our bill is much higher than I thought it would be. There's no way we can pay this off.
And how much did it turn out to be?
With all of the food we ordered, the messages were received in our room. And all the drinks from the resort's bar. It comes out to around $5,000.
What? Didn't you tell your husband about your crappy situation? How could he let you spend that much on all of that room service?
Well, actually, I never really found a chance to tell him. And I still haven't talked to him about it.
You knew that you didn't have the money to pay for the room, but went ahead and ordered all of that room service anyway?
But hear me out, we have never been to a hotel as nice as this one before. So I somehow just got caught up in all of the luxuries.
I've given up on you.
Please help me. I'll do anything to make this up to you. I'm still your friend, right? So you should help me out in my time of need.
Do you need to have a brain exam done? When I told you that I wasn't going to pay $1,500 for you, what made you think that $5,000 would be the amount I'd be okay paying? I don't have that kind of money.
Then maybe you could have your husband ask one of his co-workers to help pay? Even if you're too poor to pay for me, one of his well-off co-workers should be able to help you, right?
If you think that asking one of them will work, then why don't you go up to one of them and ask yourself?
I don't know any of them. They would never help some random person asking for that much money. They'll probably just make fun of me at that point.
Well, this time I'm in the same boat as you. Just because he works with them doesn't mean that he has a good enough relationship where he could ask them to hand out that kind of money.
Oh no. And I'm stuck here with nowhere left to run.
Well, you should have thought of all this before you started acting like such a fool. Anyway, I told your husband about all of this.
What?
He is furious. Has he not come back to your room?
I'm really going to be put through the grinder. You made my life hell.
It was all your fault. Can't believe I've been so nice to you all this time. Goodbye, Trish. Just after ending my conversation with Trish, the messages from her just kept on coming. But after a few days of me completely ignoring her, she finally seemed to have given up. Then I never received any messages from her again. Well, she probably stopped because at that moment, she'd started her new life living with her in-laws. After the start of her new life, she was constantly watched by her mother-in-law, but was occasionally let out to go grocery shopping. Sometimes I'd see her at the supermarket, but she was always closely followed by her family. After a few months, she had finally started to mature a little and was left to go about her business, while still having to live at her in-laws. My friends and I never ended up talking to her again. And that left us with the peace of mind, knowing that we could go out and enjoy meals and trips together,